नमस्कार, सत श्री अकाल, सलाम, हेलो दोस्तों। वंस अगेन आपका स्वागत है वीकली मार्केट आउटलुक सीरीज पे ऑन योर फेवरेट फाइनेंशियल एजुकेशन यूट्यूब चैनल stockincome.in. Friends, I am Alok and as I have explained earlier, I am a regular trader and investor in Indian F&O markets, and I do this analysis of weekly markets on a regular basis, especially on the weekends, and that's the thing I share with you. But standard disclaimer, I share it only for educational purposes. Nothing that I say here can be construed as an advice to buy or sell anything. Please do your own research or consult a certified financial advisor for any decisions in the financial markets. So let's move. And this has been a splendid week. Let's look at what are things that happened. So if you look at key indices, there have been really some nice movements we've seen not only in Indian markets but also across the world. Let's look what happened. So Nifty and BankNifty both moved in excess of 2% positive. These figures tell you a story but probably hide a lot more. Why? Because first half of the week the markets actually slipped, and it's last 2 days of the week that the market went up strongly. Both days Nifty scored a double century, right? And net result is we are up by more than 2%. In fact, Nifty is up by 2.62% for the week. It has belied many naysayers, many people who are afraid in the market, scared, and people who are sitting on shorts. There's a huge short covering rally that we have seen. So a lot of people made money and a lot of people really had to run for cover. They probably lost money also, those who were on the bearish side, on the short side. International markets, S&P 500 and Nasdaq had a splendid rally as well, more than 4% up for both these indices. In fact, Nasdaq closer to 5%, 4.7% up. So that's beautiful. And remember, this happened after Fed announced an increase in interest rates, and we'll just discuss that as well. Okay. Before that, let's move into FII data. FII data was kind of muted on a weekly basis for the FIs. So minus 146 crores, that's okay, not here, not there. And DIs showed some good buying traction here. So DIs had been a little reluctant in buying in the last few weeks. We had seen that, but this week they were better than previous weeks. Okay. Result season we know is on, and we had many results this week. And if you remember, the results season started with rather muted or below line expectations from some of the companies, especially the IT companies, right? But then this week we had some good results. The likes of Asian Paints, IndusInd Bank, Bajaj Finserv, right? They really posted some very good numbers, and that was probably the key reason for markets to rally this week. India VIX largely remained stable week to week basis, but then first half of the week India VIX had jumped up, and second half of the week it came down sharply, but it's in pretty much close to the normal levels, so there is not much cause of concern there, right? Crude is giving a bit of pain again, up 4.1% for the week. This disturbs the world economy, especially India. It's now trading at something like $103 per barrel, the Brent crude. So bit of a concern again. Let's see how it moves further. US Fed rate hike, that was the most talked about, most awaited event of the week. Markets had expected 75 basis to 100 basis points. More views were about the 75 basis points, and the Fed delivered. They provided 75 basis points. Now if you look at it, generally a rate hike is considered negative by the markets, but this has just the opposite effect, right? As I see, probably markets had already factored in a 75 basis points increase, and since increase was that only and not more than that, so markets had a bit of a relief rally. And there is also some feeling and some opinions floating around that since Fed is now moving in a structured manner, increasing rates, it might hit the growth at some point of time, and then Fed might be forced to roll back the interest rate hike. So those kind of talks are doing the rounds, but then the day Fed increased the interest rates, US markets jumped 4%, and next day again they increase, and that's a core reason for, and world markets followed suit. Indian markets also moved in the same direction. So it's a lot of people thought 75 basis points is coming and let's short the market, markets are going to fall, but just the opposite happened and many people got trapped in this. So talking of technicals now, so Nifty has shown a gap up and the gap is still not filled if you look at it, right? There's a gap up here on the screen. So and now it's comfortably trading above 17,000 with decent volumes. All the volumes have been lower in the last few weeks, but they've still increased now. And I feel Nifty could trade between 16,800 to 17,800 for this coming week, right? And let's see what options data suggests. Option data also suggests a similar picture. Why? Because if you look at the call side, the options are high interest, where the interest rate, open interest is high, right, which are away. They're around 17,500, 17,600. That's where you see high open interest, as you see on the screen. Whereas on the put side, you see high open interest closer to current levels. We are at 17,000, for example, put has the maximum open interest. So that is going to provide a lot of support. So markets unlikely to fall, direction is up even as per the options data. Bank Nifty technicals, they paint a bit of a similar picture, while Bank Nifty is not as strong as Nifty. So, but then the feeling is, looking at the levels, Bank Nifty could stay between 36,000 on the lower side and 38,800 on the upper side. Bank Nifty options data also paints a similar kind of picture, right? So the trend seems up for the Bank Nifty as well, but it's not looking as strong as the Nifty and the broader markets. Broader markets are also catching up. The frontline indices really moved very well, and broader indices are catching up also. So that's largely about it for this week, my opinion. Thank you friends for watching, for giving your time, for sparing your efforts. Do share this channel with other people. Do subscribe to the channel if you still haven't, and as always, share your comments. That helps us, that guides us. Thank you. God bless. Jai Hind.